Hi, this is Olliemathews, and this is part 7 of my series, Growing Up with Narcissistic Parents. My last video, I got into some stuff, and I gotta be honest, it really, really bummed me out for a couple days. But I was thinking where to go next with this, because there's just so much, and I figured, really logically, the next place for me to go is describe the relationship between my mother and father, and it is quite interesting. You know, the first thing I could tell you is, at least from my point of view, I was one of those kids, and I know it's a rarity. I enjoyed it when my parents fought. I reveled in it. My brother did too. And I'll tell you why, because my mother was so awful all the time. And my father just knew how to push her buttons and get these reactions and upset her. And I actually took pleasure in watching her get upset. It was like, finally you're feeling the way I'm feeling. So I would enjoy it, and I would watch her get called names, and I would think, good, because this is what you do to me. And they fought all the time. Every Saturday was usually good for a fight. The worst ones were always around Christmas or stressful situations. When my brother was first born, they had a couple of really scary ones. This one, I remember my brother, he wasn't walking yet. He was about 6 months old, so you could put him on the floor. And it's a Saturday night, and at the time, my mother was waitressing at this seafood place. So she'd wear this sailor outfit, that was their uniform. And my mother and father had been going at it all day, yada yada. He's pushing her buttons. She's going, stomping around back and forth and back. Her footsteps. And you'd hear it coming. And he'd count down, 5, 4, 3, and here she'd come again on cue, and the voice, the screech out of this woman, only rivaled by her 2 sisters and her mother. And when the 4 of them got together, look out. So this fight that I'm talking about, when my brother was young, they had been going at it all day, and it was getting to the point where my mother was trying to get violent. And when you got my mother to that point, my father would get really scared. And on the wall in the dining room, we had a family crest. And through the family crest were 2 full-size swords. He pissed her off. She grabbed that friggin' sword right out of the damn crest, whipping it around. My father, the man he is, picks up my brother, picks up my brother as a shield, throws himself behind the den door and closes it. Now the den door is a French door with all glass squares in it. My parents' house doors had all French doors all over the house. So there's my father holding the door and the knob in one hand, my brother in the other hand. I'm on the other side. With my mother. My mother's got the sword. She's like, I'm either going to stab you through the door, or I'm going to stab this little fucker right here, meaning me. I'm standing there with my mother holding a sword to me. Open this door, or I'll kill you. Or I'll kill you, and I'll kill your kid. And my father wouldn't open the fucking door until she put the goddamn sword down. That's right. He didn't put his other son down in the back and then come rushing out to tackle this bitch through a door. He wouldn't open the fucking door until she put the fucking sword down, because he was only worried about his own pussy ass. She puts the sword down. My father walks in, turns his back on her, walks in, and sits down on the couch, still holding my brother. My mother's so enraged that he walked past her, turned his back and walked past him to sit on the couch and watch TV. Then goes to the opposite, or my father goes to the far end of the couch. My mother comes to the near end of the couch and in a rage flips it over this way, dumping my father and 6-month-old brother while he's holding my 6-month-old brother. That ended finally. He slapped her in the mouth and she walked out and went to work. It's usually how they ended. My own mother. My own mother. As you can hear, there's angry music in the background, so I apologize, but... So that was something that I guess kind of shaped me, to hate my mother. And I remember one day, you know, like I said, I used to enjoy seeing my parents fight. And I remember one day, I saw my buddy Frankie down the block. He was like, all bummed. I'm like, dude, what's the matter? My parents are fighting. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, what are you talking about? That's awesome. So that sucks. Well, then that was like kind of the first time I realized that I guess it's not normal. I guess it's not normal. They would fight, and they'd fight at Christmas, like I said. The Christmas time, the Christmas fights were epic. Were epic. And honestly, some of the funniest shit ever said was said in those fights. It was some of the funniest things. One of the funniest things I ever saw was said in that fight. What happened in that fight? In one of those Christmas fights. And this one I'm about to tell you happened when I was a bit older. I know I was driving at the time. My brother might even have been driving at the time. But my mother's going at it, screaming, like every Christmas when they're setting up the tree or when they're setting up the decorations. And she's screaming at my father from the attic, and they had one of those pull-down doors. So my father just folded it up and slammed the fucking thing shut. Her up there. She starts pounding, and he walks away. Me and my brother are sitting there laughing. We're just laughing at her. She's pounding on the door. She gets so mad. She takes a running, because you can hear it on the ceiling. She took a running start, jumped on the attic door. The whole freaking thing comes crashing down. And here comes this crazy woman, friggin' giant afro and all, okay, rolling down the friggin' thing. And she bounces up and down those spiral stairs and in and out. And there it is again. She didn't even miss a beat, man. This was normal. This was normal. The one year she was big, she was yelling so bad. I told my brother, we're not getting a Christmas tree. We're just gonna fucking put a star on your mother's fat ass. It was just another all-out brawl every Christmas between them. My mother could fight with a lamppost, though. I mean, she's a champion fighter, you know, with her mother and her sisters when they get together. When my grandmother was still alive, like, oof, oof. You know, one year my Aunt Barbara was the first year she brought her new boyfriend George around, and the sisters had gone in to buy their mother, their narcissistic mother, a gift at piece of jewelry at Macy's, something really nice. And we're having Christmas Day at my Aunt Ginny, Uncle Mario's, one of my mom's sisters. And we're in his basement, and he had like a big screen TV. And this is in the 80s, when big screen TVs were a big, big deal. A big, big deal. And we're in the basement, and I think he had, if you remember, like, and this is, I'm really dating myself, he had an Intellivision system, which is like when he had the Atari 1600, like Intellivision was its competition. And I remember, me and my brother are on the couch, I'm playing a football game, and I think I'm playing it against my uncle. And then out of nowhere, this blood-curdling scream from upstairs, and it's out of all four of them, and it is a friggin' cat like you never even heard. George, the boyfriend, snaps up like this and like with a look of fear. The rest of us, we didn't budge, didn't even move. And my Uncle Mario leans into George. He put his hand on his shoulder. He's like, "Welcome to the family, buddy." We just fell on the floor laughing. Like, dude, you don't know what you're getting yourself into here. You don't know. Like, you're gonna find out, brother. You're gonna find out. And he hung in longer than most, and he went crazy. He ended up going fucking nutty. He did. He went crazy. He went crazy. But he lasted longer than most. He ended up in a nut hut. He ended up in the poor guy, and he was a nice guy. And I really liked him. He was a really nice guy. He ended up just, it's what my family will do to you. And he's dating one of my aunts. It didn't even move. Like, you go to somebody else's house and you hear they get upset. It's normal. You know, to me it was normal. And again, something else to help shape where I've been, where I'm going. I got so many of these stories. I don't know how many volumes I'm going to have of this, but this can go on for quite some time. And as I talk, I remember more and more stuff. I remember more and more detail. And again, it reiterates why I'm living 1,500 miles away. And you know, there's a lot more to it of why I'm living 1,500 miles away, which I'll also get into. More stuff like the marriage and my parents, and you know, I'm going to talk about that like in detail on my next video. You know, really what happened during the divorce, what went down, what led up to it, and how my parents are still trying to affect my custody, and what I'm trying to do about it. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you for watching, and I will see you real soon. Thanks.